Hey guys, it's Cassie at Twice Love Trinkets, and today I have something special for you. I'm going to be reading through the only piece of My Little Pony I have left from my childhood, and that is this book, Spike and the Magic Shoes. My Little Pony, Spike and the Magic Shoes by Carey Timm, illustrated by Cathy, Beylon. It was a beautiful morning at the Dream Castle. Spike climbed out of bed early and ran downstairs for breakfast. I have all day to play, he thought cheerfully, and he wondered what to do first. He looked out the window and saw Majesty practicing her jumps in a nearby field. That looks like fun, he thought. Whee! Whinnied Majesty as she jumped a tall fence. Let me try, called Spike. Before Majesty could answer, Spike was careening toward the fence. He hurled himself into the air, did 3 somersaults, and landed on his head. Ouch! He moaned. Oh, Spike, said Majesty with a laugh. Baby dragons aren't supposed to jump fences. I guess not, said Spike sadly. Spike headed back to the castle. On his way, he met Firefly and Medley. Hi, said the little dragon. Will you play with me? Not now, Spike. We're going flying, they answered. See you later. Then they cantered across the slightly raised drawbridge, spread their wings, and soared into the air. Hey, wait for me, Spike called. But you can't fly, shouted Medley. Spike wasn't listening. He ran across the drawbridge as fast as he could, flapping his arms wildly. Then he leaped off the edge of the bridge and fell into the moat. Blub, blub, gurgled Spike as he sank in the water. Suddenly, the sea ponies appeared with a giant lily pad and carried him to the surface. Thanks, sea ponies, he gasped. You're welcome, Spike, said Sea Light. But what were you doing in the moat if you can't swim? It's a long story, Spike mumbled. He climbed onto the drawbridge, feeling foolish and sad. I just don't belong anywhere, he thought. Just then, Sunlight rushed over. Hey, everybody, we're going to have a pony relay race, she said. Follow me. Spike followed the ponies to a large pasture. First, we have to choose teams, said Sunlight. The ponies stood in a group as Sunlight picked 2 teams and explained the rules. Which team am I on? Asked Spike. But no one answered. The ponies had already taken their starting places. Sunlight waved a flag and the race began. I might as well be invisible, thought Spike. They never even noticed that I'm here. And he walked back to the Dream Castle. Spike wandered slowly through the empty castle. I'm tired of being a baby dragon, he said. I wish I were a little pony. They have all the fun. He stopped for a moment in front of the shelf where Majesty's magic pony shoes glittered brightly. Suddenly, Spike had an idea. I'll bet I could do anything if I had those magic shoes, he thought. Even be invisible. Spike took down the shoes and put them on his little dragon feet. Then he stood very still, closed his eyes, and wished, Magic shoes, make me invisible! Suddenly, Spike felt himself becoming lighter. He looked down at his feet. They were fading before his eyes. He was invisible. Then Spike wondered if he could fly. He scrambled up the castle stairs, ran out onto the roof, and flapped his arms. The magic shoes lifted him high above the Dream Castle. Spike soared and dived as easily as if he were a bird. This is great, he cried. Then Spike smelled something delicious. He swooped down to the kitchen windowsill. There on the table was a freshly baked carrot cake. Spike poured himself a glass of milk and helped himself to a big slice of cake. Soon, all that was left of the cake was a few crumbs. Just then, Medley trotted into the kitchen. Oh no, she gasped. Someone ate my cake, and I made it especially for Spike. Uh-oh, said Spike, and crept out the window. The little ponies were flying their kites in a nearby meadow. Spike flew up to the branches of an oak tree and watched the colorful kites bob along on the breeze. Bowtie's kite flew higher and higher. Suddenly, the wind blew it right at Spike. Soon, the kite was tangled up in the branches of the tree. I'll never get my kite out of this tree, cried Bowtie. I wish Spike were here. He'd know what to do. They really do need me, thought Spike, and he set Bowtie's kite free. Soon it was time for lunch. the little ponies got ready to take a picnic to the waterfall. "Pack a big lunch, ponies," said Majesty. "Lots of apple and alfalfa pie and ice cream." "Let's ask Spike to come," suggested Lemon Drop. "He's lots of fun." The ponies searched for Spike, but he was nowhere to be found. "Maybe he's at the waterfall," said Majesty. The ponies trotted off to look. "Pie and ice cream?" murmured the little dragon as he watched the ponies leaving. "That sounds awfully good." Spike ran back to the dream castle. He was tired of being invisible and tired of being alone. He missed being with his friends. "I don't need these silly shoes anymore," he decided, and put them back on the shelf. In a moment he was his old self again. "Oh boy!" he cried as he ran outside. "All the apple and alfalfa pie I can eat!" Then he took a shortcut to the waterfall. All the little ponies were happy to see Spike when they arrived at the waterfall. "Spike, would you like some pie?" asked Majesty. "With ice cream?" added Peachy. "How about a bubble bath?" called Sunlight. "Would you take a ride with me, Spike?" asked Firefly. "Oh boy, would I!" cried Spike. He climbed onto Firefly's back. "I just don't know what to do first. I must be the luckiest baby dragon in Ponyland." The end.